Hey, what's going on? Real Talk with JJ. We got Pepper here saying hello. Oh, yeah. And Franks, how we doing? Yeah, you want to say hi, Pep? Not bad, huh? Not bad for 98. We just went for a great walk. Oh, Frankie's going to grab some stuff. You know, they're up there in age, but boy, do they have happiness. Why can't we, us humans, apply that? Real Talk with JJ, I am Jim. Welcome. And also, I'd like to thank many new subscribers. So I've actually recorded this a few times because I try not to do any edits. I like to try to speak and speak my mind, but it was all with clarity. However, waking up at like 4:30 in the morning every day to go to work and teach and multitask, it doesn't always happen. But this video has 2 points. One, maybe a little metaphor. A lot of my metaphors only make sense in my mind. All right, so Frankie and Pepper, they're up there in age. If you've been following me, you know that. So they're wise. They're very wise. And here we go, we got our fence. And oftentimes they bark like crazy at people. They don't do that anymore. One theory is, well, they can't see and not always hear. But I also have the theory, because Pepper can see fairly well, they've seen these people walk by over and over again. And they're applying wisdom, and they're just letting things be. They still will bark. So what does this have to do? Well, barking to me is kind of like a communication. And this is also with YouTube, in the comments section. One of my videos, not too long ago, I made a video about Eek Acres and Kevin, who I think is doing better. I can't follow everything just because of our busy lives. And it was basically a walk in the woods, one of my favorite trails, wishing him good luck, because I was pretty emotional about the cancer thing. And you know, being 54, or at any age, because cancer doesn't know age, I've known a good amount of people affected by cancer. I lost a really good friend when he was 59 to cancer. So one, I'm just wishing him good well. And I want to say that because, you know, I got some tension, got some barking in the comments a while ago. I'm not mad about it, but like, I'm not staying on your channel. You just have a bunch of haters. So Real Talk with JJ, I'm not trying to create any kind of hate towards anybody, and that's my real talk. I am also not trying to prove anything. I do feel that people have a right to say what they feel and educate as they feel. The only reason I would delete if it's a major safety concern or if it affects me directly with whatever it might be, anxiety, mental health, or something that's not safe. Usually YouTube flags that stuff. But that's fine. People don't have to watch me. People don't have to, you know, I just find it interesting that people are getting upset with me because we're on social media and people are sharing their comments. It's not that big of a deal. People have experiences with the creator and they're just sharing some of their experiences. I think we're all, as far as I know, we're all adults watching my channel. And I think we all can just give Kevin some respect with what he's fighting. And that's what I'm asking. If someone in here says, well, he does this, that, I might just say thanks for sharing. But I think, I wish I knew the word. I wish I was smart. But just a little space for someone who's suffering. And some might say, well, is he suffering? You know, I'm not going to go into that drama. I'll leave you with this. This has been a very hot thing in YouTube lately. There's a creator named Dodash, and I don't really follow them. I've kind of saw them in the feed. There's a bunch of creators now calling them out. And they're calling them out because there's this blatant lying and they're making money, this and that. I'm not going to do that. That's not what this channel is about. I want to apply emotional intelligence. I want to apply wisdom. I want to sit in the ugly and talk about how we can get out of the ugly or accept the ugly. Because things have been ugly lately. And I'll leave you with this. Some people are saying, well, the world has always been wicked. You know, sure, maybe not being a historian, I just hit my microphone. Me not being a historian, but the world has always been wicked, but we're living insanity right now. There's way too much. There's so much unhealthiness going on. And yes, the media doesn't help. Everyone has a phone. Everyone can vent. Everyone can hate. It would be cool if we could also take our phones and everyone could try to be kind. So there's no win here. The world has always been wicked, but you know what's been wicked? A lot of violence in this country, a lot of divide, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. And so that's where I'm getting at about the barking. And I get it, we all have a right to be frustrated, but can we all just sit back and breathe? We all breathe the same air. But you can watch this video if YouTube is suggesting something you might like. Leave your thoughts. Hopefully that makes sense. And we're still waiting for some people to walk by. What do you think? Well, we know who the real kind people are, or beings, right guys? Over and out.